That's right!
Welcome to The Know, I'm Ashley Jenkins.
I'm Miles Luna.
Look alive, PS4 Vault Dwellers. Your hopes of exploring the wide open world of console mods and Fallout 4 and the upcoming Skyrim Definitive Edition have officially been shelved.
Bethesda has announced that PS4 mods for their console games are canceled until further notice, and they've placed the blame completely on Sony.
Now you're gonna miss out on valuable additions to the Fallout 4 experience, like the Busty EV body mod, the Slooty Vault jumpsuit, and the always important Vault booty mod.
Super important for the story. The disappointing announcement about the cancellation of Fallout 4 mods on Sony's console came by way of a rather short and to the point blog post over on Bethesda's website, which states, quote, "After months of discussion with Sony, we regret to say that while we have been long ready to offer mod support on PlayStation 4, Sony has informed us they will not approve user mods the way they should work, where users can do anything they want for either Fallout 4 or Skyrim Special Edition."
All right, well, they have no shame about making Sony out to be the bad guy. Like, there's a bus, get under it. Adding this to some of the PlayStation 4 Pro problems, and they're not really having the best PR week over at Sony.
It's very reminiscent of early Xbox One PR.
Yeah, which is a shame, because I'm sure they were looking forward to this week. It's going to be a big week for them, and now they're all like, is it 5 yet? I need a drink.
The blog post goes on to say, "We consider this an important initiative, and we hope to find other ways user mods can be available for a PlayStation audience. However, until Sony will allow us to offer proper mod support for PS4, that content for Fallout 4 and Skyrim on PlayStation 4 will not be available."
Well, this is what happens when you try and bring PC features to console games, everybody. It's like messing with dark, forbidden magic.
Yeah, you're gonna lose your brother, an arm, and your mom, and it's all gonna be real bad. That was an anime joke, I'm sorry. I'll keep that shit out of here and keep it to fan service.
No, Caden's all about it.
Thanks, Caden.
What anime is this?
I almost said Fallout Brotherhood. Full Metal Alchemist.
I see, of course, yes.
The news of the cancellation of PS4 mods is no doubt stinging PS4 gamers quite a bit, especially those who are hoping to play them on Skyrim. Plus, Bethesda still said they are working on them as recently as this week.
Speaking with Metro, head of Bethesda marketing Pete Hines spoke about the delays the company had been experiencing on delivering PS4 mods, saying, "It's definitely not that we've decided not to do it. We absolutely positively want to get PS4 mods out as fast as humanly possible."
As it turns out, as fast as humanly possible in this case just means never.
Look, some people are not fast.
Apparently.
Like the dead ones.
Of course, the original intention was to release Fallout 4 mods on PS4 back in June, following the Xbox One launch of mods back in May.
However, at the end of June, it was announced that the mods would be indefinitely delayed for sort of mysterious reasons. As we all know, indefinite delays are usually not a good sign that things are working out well, and now, fittingly, the mods are just canceled entirely.
Yeah, we don't know exactly why the mods were canceled, but it seems pretty clear that it had to do with Sony's restrictions for the PS4 platform. In the past, Bethesda sort of hinted vaguely that they weren't the ones holding up the release of the mods, throwing the tiniest bit of shade Sony's way.
Well, I mean, it's got nothing on the current shade.
Yeah, no, it's a fucking oak tree at this point.
So things started to get a little bit more specific in recent months. Speaking with Newsweek back in June, Todd Howard hinted that the issue was one of licensing, saying, "We're working with Sony right now, but there are hurdles to get over with things like storage, and we need certain licenses. Because the modders are being like a pseudo-developer, so you get some tricky legal things going on there." Oh, apparently very tricky.
Yeah. Reading between the lines of the new blog post and those comments from Howard, it could mean that Sony didn't want players to have full developer access to the platform, with modders able to do whatever they wished.
Without paying for a license.
Yeah, they've been particularly aggressive about protecting the integrity of the platform in the past, which ultimately led them to shutting down Linux installs on the PS3.
Yeah, and which now they owe people money for.
Hey.
It's possible they were asking Bethesda to be a middleman and control content or push updates for mods, or they wanted to institute some kind of licensing fee, either for Bethesda or participating modders, as developers typically need licenses to interact with Sony's platform on that kind of level.
Unfortunately, this seemed to be a sticking point for each party, which is sort of odd considering that they've probably been working on this together for the better part of last year. You'd think that Sony wouldn't have wanted any sort of mod announcement at all if they had so much problem with Bethesda's view of how modding should work.
Right, it seems, based on the discussion so far, that it was fine. They were sure they could get over it, they were sure they could figure something out, and now they just both went, no.
I'm sure they didn't want to look bad compared to Microsoft during E3 and all that stuff. I don't know. Speculation.
Yeah, but beyond the ideological differences between the two companies, it seemed there were also some huge technical hurdles that Bethesda didn't run into while developing for Xbox One, which is really just the story of Bethesda. They've had trouble with PlayStation for a while.
Back in June, Bethesda published some dev notes which detailed a number of critical problems the companies faced on Sony's console in particular. A couple of the issues they listed include optimal texture support for the PS4 when PC textures are used. Apparently the textures were causing some notable memory performance trouble.
All right, the developer notes also mentioned a problem with the overall mod size, which was limited to 900 megabytes for the PS4. Bethesda was working with Sony to increase this limit since 900 megabytes isn't a whole lot to work with when it comes to downloading a mod. To contrast that, Xbox One mods have a download limit of 2 gigabytes. That's more than twice the 900s.
Big dick swinging 2 gig mod going on. It's not the size of the megabytes, I'm just gonna read the next paragraph. The blog also highlighted a fairly serious audio issue, mostly due to how the PS4 handled sound files. Apparently the PS4 uses a proprietary format for audio files because that's what Sony does best, which made it difficult for Fallout 4 mods to incorporate new sounds.
So all those things stacked together means this probably just wasn't in the cards for PS4 users, which is a shame because so far the additions of mods to Xbox One has proven to be hugely popular.
Granted, things were pretty rocky at first with Xbox One users stealing mods from the PC community, but for the most part it seems like things have calmed down, especially once Bethesda started making it easier to report that kind of stuff.
And as they've been doing all week with the confusion around the PS4 Pro, Microsoft is all waiting to talk trash about how they have mod support and Sony doesn't. It's like, you see it and you're like crusty with salt right now, Microsoft. In a tweet posted by Xbox UK, the company bragged about mod support and backwards compatibility to match their earlier tweet about having 4K Blu-ray and HDR gaming.
So, does this mean we'll never see PC-like mods on a Sony console? Well, at least not in the way that gamers have grown accustomed to. Bethesda doesn't seem to rule the possibility out, but they do make it clear that Sony is going to have to do things their way for it to happen.
Yeah, so unlikely. If this somehow affects the sales of the PS4 version of the Skyrim Definitive Edition, they could be changing their tune fairly quick. Although most people who really care about mods are already enjoying them on PC and have been doing so for years anyway.
It's kind of the thing.
And making sure that everyone knows how great they are, because really, they're pretty awesome.
Thomas the Tank Engine in Skyrim's pretty great. But what do you guys think about Bethesda canceling Fallout 4 mods? Let us know in the comments.
And for future updates on console mods and whether or not they're happening, it's a constant will they, won't they? Like this video and subscribe to The Know.
Just like Jim and Pam from The Office.
Oh my god. Damn, they have no shame about making Sony the bad guy here, just throwing him right under the bus. Adding the